It's such a pleasure. It's so nice to see you here. I wish that I could see you in person. That couldn't be the reality for this year, maybe next year. But today, I'm very thrilled to be the chair of this session, where we are going to tell you a beautiful story that is happening right now in the Amazon. Just to be cheeky, I'll jump now to my mother language, my original language, which is Portuguese. Portuguese from Brazil, where these beautiful people that are here with me today come from and where they speak from today too. Então, eu sou Anne, esse é meu nome. Eu sou nascida e criada no Brasil.
Moro this is Anne here. I was born in Brazil. I'm part of BDF. It's a very small, familiar family business that works with a regenerative future, localized and nutritional to every life in planet. We've made opportunities of collaborative cooperation with people, places, and programs that can offer solutions, especially about food solutions and eating solutions. As I can't see on camera, I would like to take a look at the chat. If it's everything all right, please say everything's okay, that you can access interpretation so I can move on. Okay, some feedback, amazing. Now to open the session with very important people, I'll tell you a little about them later. But before, I'll show you a story in a video. Now, open your heart, coming from Amazon. Now we're gonna meet the Mutuca Agroforestry community.
Meu nome é Maria do Rosário, matriarca da comunidade São Raimundo do Mutuca.
Meu nome é Edson Soares de Oliveira.
Aqui eu tenho 11 filhos e 9 netos. Nós chegamos aqui em 12 de abril de 2005 com o dinheirinho que nós tínhamos. Éramos 2 famílias com muita vontade. Já havia algumas áreas desmatadas, mas nós tínhamos certeza de que o nosso trabalho aqui seria uma grande oportunidade.
Trabalhar com água floresta, as coisas que a floresta nos oferece, coisas que a gente planta sem química, coisas plantadas por nossas mãos. Então, para nós, isso aqui é uma vida muito importante, uma vida feliz, é viver na floresta.
A agrofloresta, para nós, é a única forma de transformar o mundo. Trabalhamos o solo em toda a sua volta. E o mesmo processo acontece dentro de nós, fora de nós e em toda a nossa comunidade. Preservação dos quilônios, que é a criação dos tracajá. O nosso projeto de meliponicultura, que é a criação de abelhas sem ferrão, né? E é isso que nós queremos. Hoje, os nossos filhos, eles já têm famílias aqui. E eles têm um sonho para os filhos.
Eu planto a macaxeira, eu planto o girimum, eu planto o guaraná, eu planto abacaba, eu planto coco. Daqui a gente tira o nosso produto, leva para Maués, vendemos e voltamos com um alimento para nossa família.
O meu sonho aqui é construir um hospital para as pessoas daqui dessa comunidade. E eu aprendo também a plantar, a colher e tirar um mel de uma colmeia.
Tudo isso está ameaçado. O nosso trabalho, a mata, os animais, tudo. Os bois já invadiram antes. Agora, tudo poderia ter virado pasto para boi e búfalo.
Nós evitamos tudo isso. Essa é a nossa comunidade. Não temos saída para esse lado e nem para esse lado. Aqui é a extrema do nosso terreno com o do vizinho. Essa é a saída, é a estrada que passa pelo terreno dele até chegar aqui no porto para pegar os barcos. Essa área que nós queremos comprar e essa área para nós fazer a preservação dessa floresta que está ameaçada pelo gado. A única saída que nós temos é esse porto para levar nossos produtos para Maués, para levar nossos filhos para a escola, para escoar. Toda a nossa produção é por esse porto. Aqui nós usamos muito transporte fluvial, tem que ser pelo rio. Uma área de várzea como essa abriga muitas vidas, dos peixes, dos passarinhos, principalmente a nossa vida. Nós temos muitos sonhos aqui, para nós, para os nossos filhos, nossos netos. Queremos ser referência em conservação da floresta. Queremos uma escola técnica rural aqui no campo e uma cozinha comunitária para derivarmos nossos produtos. Tudo isso é muito importante para nós.
Existe uma rede do bem, uma soma de força que transforma tudo. Isso que sustenta a nossa comunidade e que fortalece a Amazônia.
Em todo o mundo, há pessoas que sabem o que é preciso fazer pela nossa Amazônia, pelo nosso planeta. E nós estamos juntos agora.
Eu espero que vocês tenham gostado.
I hope you enjoyed. It's hard to know that there's a lot of people and I cannot see your faces, but I hope we could have some inspiring smiles on your faces because of this such beautiful model as the agroforest. Now from Maués, I'm gonna introduce you to our guests today. Ramom, please say hi.
Deixa eu usar minha cola aqui enquanto eu falo com Ramom. Tenho que ler todas as
I'm gonna read some descriptions of our guests.
Me desculpem.
Sorry for the delay, it was ready. Okay, Ramom's co-founder of Regeneration. He was one of the first people who connect us to the Mutuca community, and he has been working for more than 15 years with productive chains, social biodiverse, always through agroecology and organic production. Liviah works with Ramom. Wave, Liviah, please. Throughout the campaign last year, the campaign that we built to preserve Mutuca's land, Liviah was one of the persons who we worked closer. She's a kind of a bridge between people. It's such a huge pleasure to have the matriarch, Dona Maria do Rosário, please wave. She's a dear one. She was born in that area. She's a food producer, an artist, a traditional artist, and also the idealizer of this community. It started with her and her husband, and now it's more than 15 families and a lot of dreams. Eláine is Maria do Rosário's daughter. She's the second generation of producers in Mutuca. She is a technician in agriculture and oxen breeding. And nowadays, she's on projects with little turtles and the bee project. And also, sorry, I got a message, got distracted. And also she's researching some uses of andiroba oil. So she's also a researcher, an empirical researcher of the forest. Now I'll pass the mic to Ramom. And Ramom will tell you about the network and all the work they have been doing around Agroforestry. Now, Ramom, it's you. Before before he starts, a little description. There is a little delay on internet, so please be patient with the translation because it's still a little slow. Thank you so much.
Começou a chover, tá chovendo bastante, aqui é Rainforest. Então a gente mudou de lugar porque começou a cair água na gente. Mas vai dar tudo certo, é só para avisar que o clima da Amazônia é esse mesmo. Tá caindo bastante água. Mas vai dar tudo certo.
Here, we are in the rainforest, so I would like to tell you that it's raining a lot, but let's see if everything's going to be right. I'm going to share your screen. And you can tell me when you want me to turn to the next slide.
Você está no mudo, Ramom.
Your mic is mute, Ramom. Okay, let's go.
Bom, gente, primeiro eu queria agradecer muito a oportunidade.
So, first, I would like to thank you for the opportunity to talk about this subject.
Que vem sendo desenvolvido já faz alguns anos.
We are now having the results of a work that has been developed in the last 20 years, more than 20 years. We are very happy to work on this project in agriculture, agroecology. So I'm gonna talk a bit of the beginning of the story, of this story. All the actors in this story are people living in the forest, and they are people that I'm really proud to be working with these people now. So I would like to tell you how this logic to work with agroecology has begun here, and how we are working here. We really believe in a network work. We have this our project, which named Manífica Network, and with this network, we are able to impact different territories in the Amazonian region. So I would like to thank the Liviah and the people that are part of this story. So I'd like to have the feeling that today that we are people that are now working around the Amazon. That We know what we need to do, and everything is clear. And everyone knows that the measures, the things we need to do to protect the forest. So I can go. Let's go for the next slide. If I talk too much, you can stop me, because sometimes I start talking and I don't stop. So our network is connected to other agroecology projects. We are networked because we are connected to different institutions and people who are working in agroecology in the Amazonian state. So for us, it is very important to deal with, to promote agroecology, because we believe this is the way for society. So I put some logos here, and I'm sorry because I'm talking Portuguese, and some logos here are in Portuguese too. But we have here I can show a little bit how is our movement. It's not only a network, it's also a movement. We have a space of public to create public policies. We have it's very we have clear demands. So here we are talking about the LGBT movement, the racism, or any kind of abuse of human rights. So without this, we don't have agroecology. If the water is polluted, we don't have agroecology. So we defend the production of real food. We defend the participation of young people. We defend the affirmation of homosexual people, trans people, and equality in the spaces in which we are working. Our agroecology network is called REMA, which is in the middle of the page, which is the Maniva network of agroecology. Maniva, for who doesn't know, it's a part of cassava we plant. So it's a name we try to give. We decided to give to our movement. We have all other different movements here, but I think I'm gonna move forward. So here it's a bigger movement. We are in different spaces of discussions, like nationally, regionally, and for building public policies that are turned to familiar agriculture. We would like to reinforce other kind of policies with like commercialization, and also talk about the chemical products in agriculture. I can talk a bit better of this when we start the questions. Talk about the forums, the councils, and the institutions we use as a tool to promote agroecology in the Amazonian region.
It's just covering our view. Thank you.
Então, para nós, né,
for us, the question of agriculture is central. It's fundamental to work in the agrosystem and the production of food. There are black squares and black spots. I don't know. Yeah, can you take these out? Okay. So we always raise this demand talking about real food in the countryside and the city. And what's real food? What is the production system which brings social justice? These are the discussions we are bringing here because we believe the social movements are also have to be pedagogic, where we are going to develop and improve our social proposals. So we are talking about food without poisons, food produced as with justice and treating the environment in the right way. Not only to conserve the forest, but to improve the life in the forest. We know the people that were working in the forest, that were living the forest. They were the people that planted the Amazonian forest in the past. So in different regions in the Amazonian forest, who built the forest were the people living there. So they are the ones that could be leading the conservation of the Amazonian forest now. So those people are cultivating the land, and they are also creating a network of commercialization. So everything is around the commercialization and the way these markets are gonna be built. So you can go for the next slide. So in our network, we have three main actors, stakeholders. The first one are the producers, who we call the ones that have all the knowledge of the earth, the Amazonian forest, because they are living in their everyday life there, and they know a lot of things. So they bring this knowledge inside of our network, and then we have the institutions and the technicians that are a tool to make our network work well. So they can motivate the network to work in different territories in the Amazonian region and make the formations together with the producers. And another important part, not the main, but a very important part of this work are the consumers and the society. They need to be together with us. They need to pass through this conscientization process, and they can give value to those products that are produced in a different way, in a more just way. So we like to say that in Brazil, we have around 7 liters of chemical products per person in the food. So in 1 year, we are consuming 7 liters of poison. So this is a part of educative process too. I'm going to pass for the next one to not lose time. So here we have some pictures of the territories we are acting. So my intention here is more to show you the union of people, technicians, and the movement that are working now, that are happening now. Then you can understand a bit more our proposal of agroecology. Here is a general assembly. In the next 3 years, we were not able to make our general assembly, but I would like to give you our energy, the same energy that we have when we are together. So next slide, please. You can go for next picture. So for us, you can go for the next picture. Those pictures are here to show a bit of the diversity of people acting in this movement. We have indigenous people, and the importance to have an agroecology network connected to different people. Here, for example, we made an action to give food parcels for people who are in a vulnerable situation, and we were distributing food for them without chemical products. So you can go for the next slide. The agroecological fair are very important for us because they are the, they show the diversity of things we can offer. For whom has the opportunity to meet an Amazonian market or an Amazonian fair, you can see how it's important. Here we have traditional pots with some traditional technology, ancestor technology. And in the back, we have the another kind of indigenous art. These fairs are also a space where you can see the culture, like we can show the culture. And something that's happening a lot in Amazonian region is the men, the women acting as main stakeholders, because the women they have a lot of knowledge with the plants, with the craft work. For whom doesn't know, Rosário, the matriarch of this place, is also a very good, like, knows a lot of craft work too. So these people, they are leading the actions, like especially women. Go for next one. Next picture. You only have a few pictures left. So for us, the agroecology is a way of working with the regenerative agriculture. So now going to the cultivation we have, the things we're planting, I think it's possible to have models respecting the agroecology and the ecology, and having the original landscape as a model to learn how to deal and to cultivate in this model. And for us, the forest is the main point of the regenerative agriculture, because it's respecting the soil, the people, the diversity, and the animals, using the forest as a model. So here we have some pictures. Can go for next one. So this is a traditional cafe plantation. So what we would like to do is to implement regenerative systems. So in this image, you can see that the coffee is combined with corn. So these images are just to show a little bit of what you're doing here. So our idea is to start planting food and also taking care of the regeneration of the forest and the intelligence of the forest, because we believe the forest is intelligent and we are part of this intelligent system, and conscient people could be part of this system. For us, the water is a big, the trees are the big technology, because it's helping giving us food and producing like creating microclimates and a good environment for the other plants. So the forest for us is the biggest model to be implemented, and the way we try to work here. And the way we see here, we have just some technical draws. I would like to talk about this because I'm an engineer, like agro engineer, but I will not start with the technical details. But we can move forward. Here is the way we are looking to the shadow of the trees, the extracts of the forest, the way they interact. And this is a very beautiful way of like working with regenerative agriculture. We can go forward. I hope we will have other opportunities to talk more about that in details, with the technical details. So the way you see, we give value to the producers, the farmers, is the organic label. So our work always have the direction to lead that leads to the organic label. And this is the label we use in Brazil. It says organic products of Brazil. We have a participatory system, the only participatory system of organic label in Brazil, in the north of the country. And this was created to work with agroecology. Every year, we are having some controls of the government because we need to follow the national laws for sure. And this label, we also have a label which was developed by the Maniva Network. So the society and the producers in the farmers in this participatory process, they have a very important role in this process. Here you can see we have a note talking about organic production.
Das fazendas, né, das áreas de produção. E esse é processo que a gente conseguiu com muita luta desenvolver nos últimos anos. Pode passar. E tem uma ampla participação social dos consumidores, né? A partir disso a gente criou comunidades que sustentam a agricultura, né? Os CSAs, que também existem fora do Brasil. Até um exemplo de um CSA próximo à cidade de Manaus, tá? Passando por uma visita de pares, que é uma forma que a gente tem de vistoriar também as propriedades. Pode passar. Aqui são os técnicos que fazem a vistoria, né, pelo nosso sistema interno de certificação, né? Então a gente tem aqui o Léo, né, à direita, que ele faz parte de uma organização indígena que faz parte da nossa rede, que sai do seu território e vem também fiscalizar produtores de outra área, porque é importante ter um olhar externo, né? A gente se visita muito para trocar experiência e para poder fiscalizar uns aos outros, né? A nossa responsabilidade, ela é compartilhada na certificação orgânica participativa. E aqui do outro lado está a Amanda, também de uma outra instituição que faz parte
Here we
da
also have
comissão de avaliação.
Amanda
Pode
from
passar.
another institution.
Pode passar. Aqui são só algumas fotos, né, de atividades. Pode passar, por
Here
favor.
just have some pictures of activities.
Aqui são os nossos
So
agricultores.
here we have our producers in the Manaus Fair, receiving the organic certification. And here we have some products we are producing here. You can go for the next image. These are the final, those are the final products, which already have the organic label and has the name of the label of the Amazonian, big letters here. It's a project which is happening in different states of Brazil. You can go for next image, which has the Api coffee, which is the Api coffee. The name of the coffee is Api. So here is our model of coffee production, coffee plantations. Okay, this image actually. In that image, we are planting. We have the coffee plantation, and if you see, it's a kind of plantation which is inside of the forest, which is inside of the forest. We use all the complex system in the forest, all the intelligence in the forest to produce things in interaction with this. This was before pasture, a degraded land, and we transformed this land in this coffee plantation in interaction with the other trees. We have a lot of different species in this small land, small square, like cassava and other things. Açaí, macaba, a lot of things in the same. Here we have another project, which are also which is also organic labeled
de produtores da região do Rio Madeira, né? Pode passar.
from producers of the Madeira River region.
Então, esses são produtoras e produtores de cacau.
These are producers, local producers. This is Guaraná. It's a very symbolic plant for us. We are here in Maués region. The city of Maués is known as Guaraná land. There is a geographic indication of the Guaraná that is produced here in our region. We also have a product that you can see on the side. I can show you later on. That is the Agroforestry Guaraná with certification with our network label. And this year we exported this Guaraná to France, United States. Also, we have just finished this sale. So we are here in more than 12 cities. There are other cities to be part of the network. Here, a little of these cities. Apuan, that's the first organic producers. They were the really starters of Regeneration. Then we went to other cities and other groups that today are part of Regeneration that went through the same process and today contribute with our network. Now we have more than 32 families in more than 15 cities.
Fico à vontade para receber qualquer dúvida, tá, gente?
Thank you. And now I'm welcoming any questions and doubts. I've told the story because today we're doing the same work in some institutions the same work with the Mutuca community. So Mutuca is telling a little bit of their story, that they are part of the network with other institutions that are within the network. Now I move on. Thank you for your attention, and I'm here to keep on talking. Gratitude. Thank you. Let's move on. Thank you, Ramom. I'm here now after this explanation about Regeneration is how we work. I'm here with Dona Rosário to talk about the Mutuca community, her community. It's a 15-family community. She and her husband founded this community, and here we have one of her children. I'll pass to her. Questions, please. Move your questions to end so we can answer later and talk about them later. Please, Dona Rosário. Hello. My name is Maria do Rosário, matriarch of this São Raimundo do Mutuca community. It's an honor to have the opportunity to be in touch with you. I am so thrilled with the exhibition of our story. I'm sorry. I want to say that you are the paths I asked God, and I really want to develop in our community the agroforest work and move on this knowledge to our kids and to the people who have to have this knowledge. We work with the bee project. The bee is a very important animal in the forest, a pollinizer and conservation animal of the forest and of the rivers and lakes. And everything is derivated to this animal because of the fish need them. Fish need the fruit that are pollinized by the bees. Our products grow because bees pollinize them. So for more than 20 years, we've been working with bees, and I love working with them. Also, in the forest, we collect lots of projects. Is a huge richness that has to be recognized and discovered. Move on. So that we can introduce our culture. We have more projects. We have Andiroba, Copaíba that comes from the forest.
Olá.
And many other projects. We have cará, we have sugarcane, and we also have some small animals that help a lot in our activity with the fish, the rivers, pirarucu, tambaqui. We also work with the growing of the turtles. This knowledge is passed to the young people, as the president of the Home Association is a huge opportunity to talk to you live. It's really a thrill. For me, who live in the countryside, I was born and live in the countryside. I know what it is to work on the land. It's really hard. I'm sorry. I'm ready to fight the problems with my family, my kids, my husband, and problems will come, but we will know how to handle them. And now, with partners, with you, the supporters of our work, for me, it's a real gratitude. I really thank for the opportunity. I thank Ramom, Liviah, Eric, C, bring you with all this agroecology that we can see. For me, it's wonderful. And I am really thrilled. I'm sorry, because it's really hard work.
Minha querida Rosário,
My dear Rosário, I want to tell you publicly that you shouldn't be sorry. Just for some contextualizing, while Mrs. Rosário gets a little calmer and gets prepared to speak again. We started talking 1 year ago, especially with Liviah as the bridge, and to start a campaign to help Mutuca keep the land. Because Amazonic lands is always threatened by the big agrobusinesses. That's very typical in Brazil. Invasion of traditional lands, burning, and oxen and buffalo breeding, which are not original animals of the area. And they are destroying the agroforest work in Mutuca communities and others. For the past year, we've been raising some funding to effect the buying of the land so that they are not removed. First step was one. Now they have the guarantee they will stay in the area, but we still have a lot of work ahead of us. Before moving on to Eláine, I want you to tell us about the plans of the communitary kitchen and how the kitchen in the middle of this community can help processing the foods you produced, and what the connection with the economic changes. Our dream in this kitchen is that we have a variety of products. And the problem is that we can't sell a big quantity of products, so we have to derivate them. As we have 15 families and women that need funds to raise their family, we need this kitchen because our income is very low. Lots of products that we can place in the market. Women like her, we get along very well. We have a group of women ready to work, young and strong, and with our knowledge, we are going to grow. And the land issue, if it's sold for other people buy who want to use it for oxen, we need another spot of land because the owner wants to sell everything. But we want to keep the forest alive because of our project of meliponiculture. We saw the campaign, the video, children who use the path. We have to give dreams and hope to these young people. Because if we have some income in the community, families will not leave. So for me, it's very important and very important to count with you to tell you about our dream. I want to say, Mrs. Rosário, that people are thanking you in the comments because you're talking from your heart. It's really inspiring to have these loving talks because agroecology is also love. It's not only a rational place. Now I move on to Eláine, the new generation of Mutuca, who's going to tell us what it is like to be a young person in the forest and to be in the intermediate way between studies and people connected to the nature. What do you expect of your studies and your knowledge? Tell us a little bit. Hello, I'm Eláine. I'm from São Raimundo do Mutuca community. I'm an agropecuarist student here. We developed lots of activities and projects about the preservation of the forest. We work with cassava plantation, açaí, banana, pineapple, many fruits and cultures. We also breed animals with a special attention to the bees breeding, meliponiculture, and the preservation of turtles because they are coming to extinction here in the area. I'll talk a little about meliponiculture. I grew up in this environment since I was a kid. My dad has been working with meliponiculture, and besides honey, bees offer us lots of other things that can be useful to us, like propolis, which is a natural antibiotics, pollen as well. And all this is provided by the bee. And the more flowers and trees around them, the better for them to work and develop to produce honey. I'd also like to say that as a young person in my community, I think that we're going to study about things in our community and to help our community and others. It's really great to be here representing our community because we fight really hard to have the land to be able to work, develop our activities. The other field surrounds us. We have to go through it. The first step was done, but it's a great struggle, and it's really satisfying to count on you, our collaborators, and thank God are here. That's it. I thank you so much. My dear, I'm talking on behalf of the community. I am part of an international community right now, and you can say on the chat if you agree. The fact is that we have to thank you for the forest defenders, people like you who every day keep trees up and dedicate your lives to protect our life and the planet life. We are the ones to thank you. And now I live in England, but I still feel a lot of feel really Brazilian, so I cannot start crying right now. And I'm gonna move the questions to you right now. And now I encourage the participants to take this last half hour to come up with questions, send messages. Let's have an interactive moment right now, okay? So the first question is about our history. Before you arrived in the land you're now, where do you come from? And if you were removed from other lands historically, how how your arrival to Mutuca happened? Can I answer? Right. Before we found this lost land where we are today, we used to live with my dad in a very small farm. And we had some businessmen who had a big business around, and they built a dam next to us, and we really suffered some threats. And they dirted the water we used, and my father got really angry, and he went to justice because of that. At the time, my father was from Maranhão, and he thought until he got that piece of land, that small piece of land. But as we grew up, we needed more land because we got surrounded. And he lost his land because he was very old. And we started this foundation with my family and my husband, and we didn't find land to work on. We rented places, where we talked to the owner. For 1 year, we produced cassava, zucchini, corn, everything that we could. And we gave part of the production to the owner of the land and sold the other part of the product. We ate it or gave it to the animals. So we talked to the man who was the owner of the land, and he said that we could work there, that he would sell the land to us. And I told him, thank God your words, because for God there is nothing possible. But for us, it's going to be hard because we don't have the money. And then he believed, and he believed just as he said he would sell it to us because he knew we would produce on that land and make it very productive. And in 2008, we started a project with the state government. We had support of a Senai teacher. And he made this project go to Lula's hand because Lula was the president at the time, and it was approved. And I felt so happy, and we didn't think twice. With the project, we bought a little boat with 10% of the project. We bought the boat and this piece of land where we are today. We had very little, but it was everything for us.
Não, mas então é isso que ela queria saber, né? De onde veio.
So this is the point. This is what people wanted to know. Where did this family come from? Summing up, her family is a little from Maranhão City and a little from Maués here in Amazonas state. Sorry, Mrs. Rosário. It's a little hard to talk about family, but let's move on.
Uma pergunta então para o Ramom agora. A pergunta é que você comentou, Ramom, que você tem trabalhado para influenciar as políticas públicas. E o pessoal queria saber mais especificamente quais são as suas demandas e como você tem feito essa incisão política.
Grato pela pergunta. Queria aí oferecer um brinde ao Martim, que disse que está bebendo Guaraná agora. Eu também tomo aqui. Isso é o que move a gente. A gente hoje, como a gente está no movimento organizado, algumas instituições também fazem parte do governo, né? Some institutions are also part of the government. We have been organizing ourselves for more than 10 years. So I had the opportunity to participate in the Mariva network since the beginning of the foundation. So we started understanding and adjusting the way we had to follow. And this during this history, we succeeded to create some public policies. So these policies are. A gente tenha ciclos curtos de comercialização, ou seja, as associações, elas podem vender esses
policies they are around the food production, so this they can sell this to the government, and these products can enter in the school food for the children. So we can work on that these policies are improving the reality, the situation of the people, of the farmers in Brazil, the small farmers. So we have a law since 2016 who we are this law is pressuring to the flexibilization of the production of pesticides. So this law was almost approved now in the end of the year, because the government wants to do things very hidden, and they try to pass this law during the New Year's Eve, like during the day of the New Year's. So we are working a lot on the food policies, the development of the agriculture credits. We are also developing carbon models, and we are also working in this front, articulating with other movements in Brazil in policies who could like stop the pesticides. So we have a lot of different policies. We are working in different things. So we are also working that in the organic movement. We want to reinforce this movement, and because the government considers the agroecology as a social question, and for us, the agroecology is bigger than the organic movement. It's bigger than that. We are also working a lot with the agroecology demands, because they are much bigger than the organic label. So the agroecology demand is talking about young people, racism, women in the society, representativity. So it's talking about the water quality, the climate change, all the environment. So we are occupying different spaces, policy space, and I'm forming myself in these spaces during the last 10 years, and I'm bringing the demands of the families like the Mutuca families, and to bring it to the demands to the national level. Thank you, Ramom. We have a question here, and I think you can comment on that too. Francis, he said that Maués is the capital of Guaraná, and they would like to know what's the distance between you and Maués. So Miss Maria do Rosário could maybe tell us how long did you take to go to Maués? I think people would like to know. So we go out from Mutuca in the morning in general, and we walk 1,500 meters. It depends on the floods. We are still in the flood period, but we usually walk 1,500 meters. But during the flood, it's closer. We just walk about 3 minutes, because then we can take the boat easily when there is a flood. And the boat to Maués is about 1 hour. Sometimes we are facing the wind from the river, just until we get to Maués. I would like to say that we have different kinds of boats. Some are faster than others. Our boat has 11 meters, and the force is 13. So it's about 1 hour with this boat. So this is the biggest, the better transport we have. It's the only transport we have, because we don't have any other kind of transport. Wonderful, thank you. Edward would like to know. He's really thank you a lot for this inspiring history, and all the struggle you are leading in your community. And he would like to ask you for some conselhos for the agricultures, for the farmers in the UK. They are also using agroforest systems. I would like to tell them that they need to plant a lot. They need to plant forests because the Amazonas needs that, and also the world needs that. Because we see there's a lot of this deforesting. So my children sometimes they ask me, Mom, why do we need to preserve the nature? We are working a lot on that, but we don't have any kinds of resources. But they still fight because they know the reality. They know the world needs that. And I always believed on that. I think we need to work because the world need us. The Amazonian forest also needs us. We also learned to work in this way because my father taught me, because he was against projects with pesticides, with poison, and that's why our life is based on that. Slowly, we are retaking our traditions. We are not receiving some projects because the projects passing through the government, brought by the institutions from the government, we had to use toxic products, and we didn't accept that. So because of that, we believe in the reality of the forest, and that's why we still have a little bit of this richness, because this richness is is everything for us, because we're not working with poison. We would like to see our rivers healthy, our land healthy. So maybe one day you could come here and visit us and eat some pineapple, some banana, very fresh ones, the real banana, the real pineapple, some fish, our flour, cassava flour, everything we can offer here. We have people from other cultures came here and they loved it because we offered a lot of things. And for us, it's very important. We are very thankful when people are coming here and we can share the things we are producing. So I would say, I will comment here, it's delicious. It's delicious. They really want to accept the invitation, and because they would like to eat these pineapples and bananas. For sure, we are going to be very thankful. So Rosário, I would like to say that in the chat, people also asked for your emails and contacts. You can find it in the platform, in the Mutuca platform, but I think Liviah will also write the email address in the chat. There is another question linked to the cooperative interests of the industries. How these interests are influencing your land, and what kind of opposition or pressure are you facing for the work you are doing? Yes, here we are learning to plant a little bit of everything, because we have a place, a small city that are not so big next to us, and it's not a place where people are passing through. If people are here, it's because they live here. We don't have a lot of ways to go out of this place. We don't have roads. They promised us some road to improve the commercialization of the projects, because everything around here is very expensive. Everything is very expensive. So our production, what we sell in the fairs on Saturday, because it's a very small city, we bring different kind of products or different products of people were what people were selling. For example, in the açaí season, there's a lot of açaí, so the price goes gets lower. So, and then we cannot conservate the açaí. That's because we would like to have the kitchen, because if we would have the kitchen, we could transform the products and conserve the products. As pineapple extracts or other plants. And the products we have more here is the cassava. We sell cassava for people, for bakeries, or even or in the fairs here. And we can make the beiju and pé de moleque, which are traditional food from Brazil, from the cassava. And we make the dough from the macaxeira, from the cassava. And it's a product we have, very relevant products here during 2021, during the pandemic year, because we can do a lot of things with the cassava. And I would like to tell you, Rosário, that I'm a bit I'm a bit sorry for the interpreters, because I don't know how do they translate macaxeira, which is cassava, in English. This is the cassava flour, and this is the products as a kind of cassava bread. In Brazil, people eat a lot of cassava, which they call macaxeira. It's like a potato for people. It's the root. The macaxeira, it's another kind of cassava, because you have different varieties of cassava. You have the white one and a bit the yellow one, like this one. And when we started planting this cassava, it was very good for us, because it's very easy to plant, and it grows very fast, like in 6 months, and you can sell it in different ways, like transformed or even like raw. So this product really helped us when we started our work. All the families didn't had almost any income, and we started with little money. People were giving, every family was giving 50 reais, which was almost nothing. And we had around 700 reais, and we gave this money. We would use it to give this money to one family. The next month, we would do the same thing for another family. And today, and I can thank God and and people supporting us, because we can pass because we passed this moment where it was very difficult for us. We had almost nothing, and now we have a lot of bananas. We have a lot of things, because we have a work group, and every day we do collective work in different fields, and the fields for each family. So everyone's working together. I would like to thank you very much. And I know you came very early to go to that place where you have access to internet. And I would like to go for the final words. And I would like to pass to Ramom, that's going to close the session. And if anyone else has a question, we still have some time. So Ramom, it's up to you. And after you can go pass to Liviah, and after you're going to say goodbye. So I will come back to this question a little very fast. Maués is in the border with Pará, which is the south of the Amazonian region. The south of the Amazonian region is the biggest region of deforestation now. So we bring to you a story it's a symbol of a story of a lot of people like this story. So just to have an idea, so we can have an idea of what's happening in the region. So nowadays, the reality in Maués is that we have a lot of people seeking for precious metals, gems, and Maués is is not the least on the list of the cities where the forest was destroyed, but we are also almost in this list because we have a lot of conflicts here with like companies extracting wood. There's no pressure from one company, but some companies, they actually buy products from some producers who are producing illegally here in this area. So there is no like, it's an illegal circuit. And the national government is also like, it's also supporting this. I'm not here to talk bad things about the government, but I think we have to say the reality. So what I would like to say is that to thank this opportunity, we are working very hard with like we put our hearts in what we do, and a lot of Eláine is also studying to continue this very beautiful work. Me as a technician, I'm sometimes regarding things from outside and giving some support, but the people that are really doing things, making things happen, are the Mutuca people. They have a lot of potential. So we see this potential and we are adding things, just adding things to this potential. I also would like to say that we have a lot of different interesting projects for people who wants to help. We are very open. We have a lot of difficulties to talk to people outside Brazil and have access to funds outside Brazil. And this is what we succeed to do with Liviah. It was a very important experience for us. And we are very open to build the future the future we believe. We want to show that every day there are people doing the right thing, the things we need to do, we need to do, which is the harmony and the respect to the nature and the respect to other human beings. And these are gonna stay. And this is very ethic. So we are working in this sense. So I would just like to thank you. I'm really happy to be here telling this story for you, this history for you, because we are working a lot. We're working very hard to see this project grow. We want to see people happy and the trees happy too. Thank you again. We are a network. I hope this was clear for you. We have our local network, but when we start to talk to the world, this network gets bigger. So I think this should be clear in this presentation. We are closer today because the technology is allowing us to be closer. So I wish a very good year, like a very good 2022, and a lot of things, a lot of
Thank you, my dear.
happiness to everyone.
Your considerations, my dear women, and final goodbyes. Well, I'd like to say that I really thank you for the opportunity talking about Eláine that is researching Andiroba plant and wants to go to medicine school and think of the products from the bee. I want to show you this. This is propolis extract. I got it from one of them, from Rosário, yes, and started using to take care of wounds because we get hurt a lot, and it's wonderful how it heals. And as I came here, I got to know other oils of Andiroba and Copaíba. And why am I talking about this? Because now we're a network and we exchange knowledge. As a communicator, my goal is to communicate, to translate what the medicine of the forest is. This other cultures, stories that come from other traditions, they're very important.
Para todo mundo ocorra essa troca. Então, eu estou muito feliz que a gente começou uma
I'm
troca.
very happy for exchanging this knowledges.
Muito obrigada pela oportunidade, gente.
Thank you so much for the opportunity. Thank you, Liviah, Eláine. Well, I just want to thank everybody who contributed directly or indirectly. You're also part of this this win, and the only thing I want to know is thank you. The only thing I want to say is thank you. Our matriarch. Well, I want to thank. I have no words to say how important this moment and this contact is. And as you said, and it is true, we leave home early and face lots of trouble to be here, but it's amazing for me. And when necessary, you can count on us. I only studied primary school. I don't know many words, but the practices with the land and the rivers speak for me. So I really want to thank your collaboration and support, that you were willing to look after us, the producers and the guardians of the forests. We want to thank everybody, every man who work with the forest and take care of the forest and the fish, the river, cleaning our plants carefully so that they do not cut down trees. And this knowledge is what we make an effort to pass on to our kids in our rounds of talks in the community. We study a lot this. We study this a lot. We really make an effort so that this knowledge goes on to our kids. Today, technology in part separate knowledge from culture in education sometimes. And when kids are studying, they are not with us at home, they are not with us in the land. But we're sure, as Eláine finished her agropecuary course in the Federal Institute of Amazonas, we have dreams that our kids come to this winning, and all of you are part of this. You are part of our dreams coming true. And we also need better logistics for transport and fluvial transport, because it's the only way we use here. Because of the waters and the rivers, we use them. So I thank here on behalf of my community, on behalf of our kids, from the bottom of my heart. I want to wish you a happy 2022 to all of you, and all the success in this great work that you do for the Amazon and to the world. I pray for all of us and for you, so that God gives you lots of health and energy and knowledge and this look to all of us. Thank you so much. It's really gratifying for us. It's a real pleasure to listen to the voices of the Amazon. So I want to make the echo of Ramom and Liviah words that say that this is the beginning of the exchange of knowledges. And and you can use the digital booth of this platform so that we can exchange ideas. And there we're distributing a little gift, and wish you a great new year with expiring messages cards. And just to finish this conference, this is a wonderful conference in the United Kingdom. Oxford is the name of the city. It's the real farming conference, and bringing a little of the real Amazonia farming is talking about real farming. I started this conference listening to a producer saying that she thought that the easiest things she thought there was in the world was planting and raising kids. These are the real knowledges, sophisticated knowledges, and our ancestral knowledges. And we try hard to preserve without poisoning, the cleaning made with love in the community. So I want to thank you all, and we wish to end this participation, peace and energy to you all in this new year. Kisses and hugs to all of you. Thank you so much. Good conference. Let's move on.